And we are live, WinDailySports.com. It is the Bet Like Mike show. WinDailySports.com is where you can get all information to help you build your DFS lineup. So go there, sign up before July 4th so you can get 2 months of gold for $44.44. But Mike North, how you doing today? Star of the show at North on Twitter. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Johnny J. Make sure you go and check out Jon Jansen. You know, J. Jansen 34, North to North. That's what we got to do. Yesterday, 1-3 as a team. I'm 0-1. I'm 2-2 the last 2 days. Not a whole lot of action out there that's worth a damn. John made the mistake, the scary pick, the Cubs.
Believe me, and it was going so well too. I saw 7-0 in the first, and I went, "There we go! I did it! I got the scary pick in the first inning." 15 unanswered runs later, I was not feeling as great.
Yeah, I mean, I looked up and I don't know if it's better to have a quick death or do you actually gamble on games so you can enjoy most of the game before you go down. But when you pick the Mets and you lose 20-2, it's sort of like a stomping of massive proportions. Just move on with your day. 2-2 the last 2 days. This is baseball, folks, where anybody can win on any given day. You talk about, any given Sunday in the NFL. It's any given day in Major League Baseball. Make no mistake about it. So we'll have our picks in about 15 minutes. In the meantime, the fastest 20 minutes in sports. That's all you have to sit through, and then we give you the picks. Usually they're good. We, like I said, up and down so far this week. Let's talk about Paul George. I heard he had a legacy game the game before. Okay, so now he was a minus 27. Is he back to being Paul George? I mean, so the nonsense that he had a legacy game in a game that was not a deciding game, all right? And he had a crap game, in my opinion, 6-15, in a game that ousted them, I think is more pertinent. The Clippers are one of those teams that you don't know what to think of them. You think they're going to lose and they win. You think they're going to win and they lose, John. But, I mean, Paul George, to me, is a regular season hero. I've always said that. Sure, he'll have some big games. He was doing pretty good. But how do you view what happened first with the Clippers and then the Paul George nonsense? I heard that he had a legacy game the game before.
Yeah, legacy game I don't know about. Like, that seems a little strong. But he did perform well in the playoffs. I will give him that. He performed well. It just, what we saw in the playoffs kind of told me everything I knew about Paul George. He's great, but he needs somebody else. They needed Kawhi Leonard. I know everybody was trying to say they didn't need Kawhi Leonard. They absolutely 100% needed every single bit of Kawhi Leonard. But that's okay. Like, Paul George can be a good number two. And I think if Kawhi Leonard was there, they might have beaten the Suns because these games were close. So, I think Paul George is exactly what we kind of thought him to be. Is he one of like the top 10 players in the league? No, but he's a really damn good one and can win if you have a player like Kawhi with him.
Now, I don't have a player. I don't have mind the player that I beat up coming back, okay, and getting it done. For instance, I kept saying that I never thought Tiger Woods would ever win another major. Then he comes back and he wins that major. He shut me up. Okay, Chris Paul, time to shut me up. I've been saying for years you're regular. I've been saying for years you're a regular season hero. Now, Chris Paul is benefiting from Devin Booker and 8-2. Don't get me wrong; it's a great team. But I'm going to give Chris Paul credit if they go all the way, okay? And he'll shut me up. You got to show me, And I like the way Chris Paul's playing. I think that I can't believe the defense they play against them sometimes. But he's cashing in and he's hitting pertinent shots in the fourth quarter. So I'm not a hater. Atlanta's plus 500 to win it all, okay? So I don't know if even Atlanta gets in there. But here's what I'll tell you. I'm rooting in a way for Chris Paul because he's played a long time. He's a spokesman. I've criticized him. So we'll see what happens. What's your take?
Chris Paul, if we're speaking legacy games, that was one of them because the Suns were sputtering on offense. They had no answer. Devin Booker was okay for the series. I know he had 31 points in game 5, but it wasn't really an efficient, great 31 points, and he got outplayed pretty much by Paul George. Chris Paul was basically everything the Suns needed to win that game. Their offense has been bad. He puts up 41 points and does it in an efficient way, shooting great from downtown. I think he was 7 of 8 or 6 of 7, whatever, from downtown, something ridiculous. That was a legacy game for Chris Paul. I mean, that was a spectacular, you know what, finish the series. Yeah, we didn't win in game 5. We looked bad. You know what? I'll take the reins. I'll take control and I'll finish this game. That was impressive. That really was.
All right, so good for everybody that's moving on, and you got another big game tonight. I don't have anything on this, just like I don't have anything on the NBA. I got one baseball game again tonight.
No, there's a G League game tonight. This is brutal. No Trae Young or no Giannis. I mean, it's not even watching playoff basketball. It's brutal.
Well, you got a guy like, Chris Middleton. Is he going to shoot from the 3?
I can't wait to watch Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday go up against
G League player. A former, I think, G League player. By the way, Bobby Bonilla Day is always a big day among sports people. I don't give a rat's ass, although I do admire the genius of his. You know, they keep talking about Bobby Bonilla. Who was his agent? I think it was Scott Boras. But to me, Scott Boras or whoever it was, maybe you could look it up, John. I have no idea. I just think that he should be given some credit. Okay, that Bobby Bonilla is making over $1 million a year till 2033. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you could find out who his agent is, because has anybody given him any play?
It's one of the greatest financial decisions a player has ever made, I think, in the history of sports, to extend this for from 2011 to 2035. He gets $1 million.
Yes,
it's just ridiculous. That is amazing. But I see Dennis Gilbert was his agent.
Dennis Gilbert, all right.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. There was another player. Now we all know players that still. Julio Cruz played for the '83 White Sox. I think they're still paying him. He played second base. They won the American League West that year, and then they ended up losing to the Baltimore Orioles to go to the World Series. And they were paying him for 20 years. So I give all credit where credit's due. I just think the agent deserves a little a tip of the cap. I mean, I'm sure he's getting paid every year too. If Bonilla's getting $1 million, this guy's cashing in about $100,000. You don't you
don't have to do anything, right? You're getting $1 million a year. You don't have to do anything. You can just sit on your butt and wait for that $1 million to come in every July.
Oh,
it's amazing.
How sick are the Mets? You would have thought somebody, maybe it's cheaper this way. They save money in the long run, but you would have thought that they would have said to him, "We'll give you 15 bulk." But I think it's great that you get a solid $1.3 million every single year. I mean, I can't, seriously, it's severance pay, folks. I mean, this guy stopped playing like a long. I remember him with Bonds, with Pittsburgh. I remember him with the White Sox. He never reached where I thought he could reach. He had some good years with the Mets, but this is phenomenal, this deal. And every year it comes up as I think the standard deal about what's wrong with baseball, too. Okay? But I don't think anybody feels bad for the owners. It's almost like Bonilla's a hero here.
In a way, it's kind of like sticking it. It's kind of like sticking it to the Mets. Hey, you got to pay this guy $1 million for doing nothing every single year. Yeah, it is a little bit of like sticking it to the Mets. Like, you guys stink.
I don't even know if he makes appearances at grocery stores for him. I don't know if the guy walks even into Citibank Ballpark. I don't think the guy does anything for him. I don't think we see the guy. You just see him on social media. I wonder how he feels about it being portrayed every year.
Right. As it being like almost a holiday every single year. Like literally everybody says happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
But he's always going to get negative feedback from somehow. You were overpaid to begin with. I don't think he gets a lot of negative feedback. I don't.
This is the all-time biggest hustle move in the history of sports. So I think everybody respects the hustle, then they respect this play on the field. It's amazing.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen.
If I can find a way to get paid $1 million a year for doing nothing, see it. Yeah, see ya. So long.
Well, I did get paid that for a long time. I didn't do nothing, but you still say to yourself, "My God," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a phenomenal thing for him. You don't even have to plan. Live within your means. He should
I
have
could live
20
well
million.
within the means of $1 million. I feel like I could do that.
He should have at least 15 million banked. You know, who knows? You know, I mean,
well, the great strategic planning of this is that I think in the last 1 million he gets, he'll be 72. So it's not like he gets the last 1 million when he's like, 90 and can't really enjoy it. He's getting this $1 million throughout the years where he's going to enjoy it in his life. Well done. Just all around. Well done. Well thought out strategic plan to make sure you have $1 million in the best years of your life. That's amazing.
All right, I got to be honest. I watched a little bit of that Mississippi State Vanderbilt game last night, by the way.
That Mississippi State. No, I saw the highlights of that Mississippi State pitcher, and that guy was a man on a mission. I mean, he was mowing him down.
Should college baseball be bigger? Should it be bigger? Should they do more with it? Maybe pay more attention to the betting lines. Maybe try to get more of a narrative out that, I know college football is second to none for narrative.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it.
It really is. Yeah.
I mean, but I did not know, for instance, that Vanderbilt had won 3 College World Series titles in 7 years. So is it that the news, with all the news media out there, but with all the platforms, I somehow think there's more that could be done with college baseball, but I guess basketball and football eat it up. I think they eat it up, right?
Yeah, I think basketball, because of the tournament. I mean, really because of the tournament. You're losing kind of the name value, I would say, in college basketball a little bit, but it's always going to be about the blue chip programs and always going to be about the NCAA tournament because somebody's going to have a big performance that becomes a household name during that. But I would say with the way baseball is going now, and now with the NIL, the name, image, and likeness, players being able to receive off of that, I imagine we're going to see, and as we saw in the College World Series, some of these top baseball players and prospects going to colleges instead of going to the minor leagues. I truly do believe that.
Bo Nix got a deal already. Now, I don't mind. Look, if they're going to make money off this, my main concern, John, has been fraud. Okay? How are they going to keep track? But the fact is, if they're going to announce the deals like this, that Bo Nix has got a deal with such, right, and they're going to list the money, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with that. I think Bo Nix hasn't performed like he could. But, if you go to – this is going to help school.
But you're the star quarterback, though, of Auburn. Yeah, I think it markets the players
Auburn's
even
not
more.
Even an SEC power, but they are associated with Alabama. And Bo Nix, I think, still has ways to go, but he can get better. But this is a huge deal for Auburn that he's got. They could set this up with a lot of local companies to get endorsement deals to pry recruits from other places, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's all going to be the case. And, it'll really be interesting to see how the market plays itself out. And I don't think it'll be necessarily for a bad thing. I'm not sure how much we'll actually see a change because, again, there's only so many endorsement deals that can go around. These top schools are already getting the top players. So, yes, they're still going to get the top players. So I don't know how much it's going to change. But it'll be really interesting to see, though, how this kind of market plays out. And you know what? It makes it a lot more fun. Like I think it's unpredictable. It'll be a little bit wild at first, and give me all of that. I love it. I think it's going to be great.
I think Coach K's getting out. He feels in the nick of time. I think he does, because if you're the 6th guy on Duke, but you could be the 1st guy at North Carolina State, and you can get money. And you can get money to pump up JoJo's chocolates, candy, or something.
I've never heard of JoJo's chocolate in Raleigh. So
I know, of course, JoJo's chocolates. But I mean that can help. So in a way, if you're the 6th guy at Duke, but you could be the 1st guy at North Carolina State, you think the endorsement deals at North Carolina State would be more plentiful,
right? Absolutely, could be for sure. So that'll be interesting to see how that does play out. If guys do leave, like you just said, for a small school, because they'll be the top guy there and they'll get the top endorsement deals. And look, if everybody's afraid of like an endorsement deal from Nike, yeah, those are going to be huge, and all the top schools already have all the money. But there can be endorsement deals in every regional area in these college programs. There is going to be somebody willing to pay an athlete to advertise their brand, their product, because that's what drives in, especially in these small regional schools. I'm thinking of a school I went to, like in East Carolina. That's the only thing on the eastern part of North Carolina. These guys are bigger than anything.
Which bar is the guy going to get?
Right. A thing like Sup Dogs, one of the biggest bars in eastern North Carolina. Like but that's what right. I think you'll be able to see regional endorsements like that too. I don't think it's going to change too much of, okay, now the top's already going to be too good. They already are. And that's not going to change. But it'll be interesting to see, as you said, that scenario play out where maybe a guy that's not, a star player in the starting lineup goes somewhere else to be the top guy.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, that's going to be interesting to see, folks. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be an interesting battle. I think you'll see coaches come in armed with, hey, you know what? We can get you this education. We're going to pick up your scholarship for $150,000. Look at our beautiful practice facilities. But we got Dolly's Donuts as an endorsement offer for you. Bimbo's Balloons. Bimbo balloons for parties. I got $25 an appearance at kids' birthday parties. So I think you're going to be seeing some nonsensical ones that are going to be funny at the end of the day. I was very surprised to see Bo Nix is the first athlete on record to get one of these deals. But hey, good for them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it almost makes you tear up. Yeah, we were 1-3 yesterday after having a pretty good day the day before. We work hard to come up with something. Sometimes it doesn't go our way, but we're honest about our achievements and our lack thereof. Yesterday was a lack thereof. Today is going to be a lack thereof. And I'm telling you, this guy here is a human torch when he pitches. I was very distressed that I have Cincinnati today as the fabulous Luis Castillo.
Oh,
when he strikes somebody out, it looks good. But when the bats hit the ball, it don't look so good. Yeah. And right now, I only have one game. And by the way, remember this. I was so tired last night that I was going to bet the Clippers. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to bet the Clippers. Forget it. I'm too tired. I'm burnt out. That's a win. That's a win that you're not down today, that I didn't give it out. Remember that. I was thinking of giving it out yesterday. And I said, nah, they're still missing Kawhi Leonard, which John said earlier they do need. But I'm taking Cincinnati today minus the 115. I got one more maybe for you folks, but here he is, ladies and gentlemen. The man that wears his hat backwards, but his picks aren't. The affable Jon Jansen.
I'm going back to the White Sox here. They absolutely crushed the Twins. And I'm going back here because this line is still not up there enough. This should be, and I know Jose Barrios is okay. This is a bad Twins team. Minus 143 on a bet that should be around minus 165, 170, maybe 180 with Carlos Rodon on the mound. Give me the White Sox all day here. It's not high enough. These spreads are these money lines, are way too short. I have to take the White Sox.
And by the way, a lot of controversy. Josh Donaldson, TV announcer Ozzie Guillen going at it. Josh Donaldson, Giolito after the game talked. He made it sound like Giolito had nothing to say to him. That he sort of intimidated Giolito.
Incredible.
But, he struck out 4 times yesterday, but hit a homer. So, hey.
And they lost 13-2. So
yeah. Oh, that's the fine. Ozzie Guillen says, okay, I wasn't as good a hitter as you, but I got 3 World Series rings.
Got the rings.
I got the rings. And I tell you what, I got the rings. I knew it. And that's what Ozzie. And I sparred with Ozzie, but he's absolutely right. And Josh Donaldson, your whole team's a failure right now. Okay. I like the Angels today. Money line, maybe run line. I'll take a look. The Yankees, to me, are still, I don't know.
That game, I unfortunately think, is already postponed. I think already today.
I love them so much. They're lucky. Yankees are lucky. Okay, but I just got to one game.
The Yankees avoided disaster. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not a weatherman. Okay. Okay. So what else you got here?
I want to check. You know what? I think I'm going to take, and I want to check to make sure it's not too far off the actual money line for the full game. But I'm going to look at the Phillies Marlins. Yeah, minus 125 for Zach Eflin. I'm going to take that. I know the Marlins won big and have won the past couple of games. Or I won the last one and almost came back to win the last game. Phillies bullpen is bad. I get that. I get it. But starting pitching is pretty good at home, and that's what Zach Eflin is. He's a great home pitcher, 2.13 ERA at home, 5.71 on the road. I think he pitches well today in the first 5, and the Phillies get the first 5 win. I'll take that at minus 125. Do not bet. I'm telling you, do not bet the full game. Phillies bullpen is that bad. Can't do it.
All right. Anything else, my friend?
That is it for me. I'll just take that.
All right, guys. We appreciate everybody listening. Keep tuning in. Make sure you follow Win Daily Sports and make sure you check us out at WinDailySports.com. Okay? Love you guys. What did that just say, John? Put that back up there.
Get to watch a little Mike and John for lunch. You love to see it. How about that?
Snowy! My guy! I saw Snowy last night. All right, guys. So long, everybody.